going to talk about the art of digital storytelling. A huge fan of media, huge fan of student engagement, and what better way to actually tell your stories than to use multimedia, etc. My presentation is on SlideShare. If you kind of want to have a look at it again, if you do catch it, please look for me on SlideShare. That's where it is. Now, I was just looking for some skills that we build using the art of digital storytelling, and this is a lovely poster that I found on language.org, and it kind of summarizes the sorts of skills that you build as a result of doing that sort of task with the students. Now, one, going to the curriculum links, we all are, going through that at school, so we won't go through that with you at all. We all do that all the time. Just a little clip about, just a slide about where you can find more of my resources. So, as I said, it's on SlideShare. You're welcome to have a look at it, or you can take a photo now. That's fine. Why? Why do we tell stories? It's not just about digital storytelling. Why do we tell stories? We tell stories so we can build a better understanding of our world, so we can have a voice, so we can get students to actually nurture their creativity. So just a few dot points. You can go back, you can have a bit of a think, kind of summarize what I was thinking at the time, and I think we can continue to add more to this list as to why we tell stories. We've been telling stories, before we could write. So just a little bit of a slide why we do it. What sort of stories do we tell? We can tell stories about, we can tell factual stuff, or we can actually talk about the art of storytelling. And that's what this is a particular area that I want you to consider when you're working with your kids. Is, do you just want documentaries, or do you actually want storytelling as an art? So that's something to take away with it. If you don't take away anything, take that away today. Sorts of things, we all talk about the genres, etc. So all the action, comedy, and etc. You can discuss with your kids, go through all that process with them about what sort of things they like and what sort of things they'd like to produce. Filmmaking, as such, as I said, please consider what you want to do. Whether you just want, as a culmination of a project, just a documentary about stuff that they've learned, or the creative aspect of it. My rule about digital storytelling, please keep it simple. We don't have enough hours in the day to go through and produce massive productions, so just keep it simple. Have a story should have a beginning, middle, and ending, as we all know about a narrative. Keep it between 30 seconds to 1 minute, and believe me, I've tried every other possible way. That alone takes us a whole term to do. Okay, so if we just keep that in mind, including our titles and credits, etc., that's enough for them to build an understanding of the process of filmmaking. When they're writing a script, this one-page script, double-spaced, is more than enough. Okay, just a few images, few words, and as I said, if you've got time, add some special effects, etc. So keep it simple. The elements of digital storytelling, and I won't go through all that. There's brilliant resources that are at the bottom of it, so just go to those. There's massive amounts of resources linked to those, so I won't bore you with that. Just keeping in mind, it should have a point of view. Whose point of view is the story being told from? There should be a dramatic question that is being answered in it, and making sure that it has a student voice, or it has to be told from someone's point of view, and it has to have that person's voice in it. And of course, your economy, pacing, etc. Won't go to bore you through that. Okay. The way we approached it when I was working with my student leaders, we've got a technology team that I work with. We actually kind of trialed that flipped classroom approach with filmmaking. What we did was we watched all the instructional videos at home, about the camera angles, etc., and all the technical things that they had to learn. We put some links on Edmodo, they viewed those, they found out more of them themselves, they designed some Wix websites, etc., and around camera angles, etc. And then we also had an Edmodo group that they were discussing their projects on. So just another way of looking at it. Then they would come to school and do the work there. So the teaching, they weren't just sitting there absorbing what I was teaching, that was happening at home. Because there are so many amazing resources online, why do I waste my time them sitting and watching it? What should they include? Of course the video, a bit of text, audio narration, music and images. That's all you need, and that's all you tell them at that stage. The equipment we need, quite simple. We all know we just need a nice video camera. Even if you don't have the video camera, we go with whatever we've got. A phone will do, and just depending on what your resources are. They don't have to be the flashiest camera. They don't have to be $10,000 equipment. Just something simple that takes videos. The strategies we used, we wrote an initial script. We planned a storyboard. Had to go back and revise the script with them, kind of had that conversation with them. Please don't miss that step. Make sure you plan that shot list with them, okay? Otherwise, they'll keep coming back, they'll keep going back. It's that annoying process, and I'll talk to you maybe afterwards about that. Shoot the sequences, and then make sure you bring that into the video to add the narrative and effects, etc. And if there's time at the end, then you add the soundtrack. It's not the most important aspect of it, but have a bit of a think about that as well. I think I've spoken about that already. Another resource, you can go online to design the storyboards, but just an A3 piece of paper, fold it up in 8 will do. Shot list, as said, plan the location. Order the shooting sequence with them. Plan what equipment they're going to use, characters, costumes, etc., etc., etc. Everything before they go out and shoot on location. And sequence it, All these events are happening in the classroom. We shoot them here. Now you're going to have that out on the playground. So making sure that they sequence those in order. This is the sort of, these are the tips I give the kids. What they need to do, and then what they need to be wary of, or what they need to be aware of as well when shooting. So I think for me, the most important one was making sure that they don't actually delete and they don't keep going back and looking at what they've shot. Shoot more than you need. Okay? Thank you. I'll just go through, come on, just follow a drill. That's the drill, a script for when they're recording. Some of the software you can use. iPad apps you can use. And assessment areas that I've mentioned, and there's some rubric creators online. The Ruby Star is one of my favorites. You can input all your data, and it creates it. Some of the extension activities that you can do with them, and some of the apps or online Web 2.0 tools that you can use. And make sure you celebrate. Make sure you have a premiere, etc., and invite friends and family, etc. And there is a YouTube video that we've uploaded that we've produced in a collaborative project with a school in New Zealand, and won't have time for showing you that, but that's me, and thank you very much.
Collaboration between the two classrooms. We targeted an advertisement because they were doing persuasive texts. But it's more the process that I want to share with you guys, because you can use it in different ways rather than what we actually got out of it. We set up an Edmodo space so the kids could introduce themselves to each other. They then decided to everybody wrote their own idea for an ad. They looked at each other's, commented on them, then as a group decided which one they wanted to expand on. Then we used software called CeltX, C-E-L-T-X. It's free, it's fantastic software for writing any kind of script. I'd strongly recommend you look it up. C-E-L-T-X. Again, it's free, it's cross-platform. We're a Mac school, Quinns Beach is a Windows school, there's no problems. If we write something, we email it to them, they open it up and it works perfectly on their computer. Great software for then storyboarding, scanning your storyboards, You put it into Celtex and it will play your storyboards as a movie, so you can see still shots going through. All right, we'll move from that shot to that shot to that shot. Before we did that, so the kids did their own storyboards once they decided. Before we did that, we spoke to them about conventions, viewing conventions, so camera angles, things like that. So they were ready for it. They could discuss the options that they had and how they were going to go about doing it. Then came back to Christmas Island. These kids, this is the third year that these kids have used the same stop motion software, so they were pretty good with that. Got that done, and today, and this started so it's taken quite a long time to get it to a finished point, but today we got the audio and sound effects into the video, so they are finished as of today, which I'm really excited about. Very happy. I would strongly recommend that you take up the opportunity if you can, if there's another school that you can work with. The kids have really enjoyed doing it. It's a very engaging process, but you do need to know what you're doing, or you need to have somebody who can help you, who knows what they're doing, because small problems can take weeks to solve if you don't have support. Can I show you one of them?
Yes.
And this is all, it's independent kids' work. They did this. I was there to solve problems, to show them how to use green screens, which the second one has green screen, and things like that if they didn't know how to do it. But this is their work. It's not, no adults are helping them to do this. Hopefully the audio comes up. And they are year sixes.
Call Quitline at 137848 for a better future.
Can I show you the other one?
Yeah.
Again, the kids did this themselves. They've taken completely different angles in terms of what they wanted to achieve. This doesn't have the public health message.
First there was walking. Then there was riding. Next there was driving. Now there is this.
Buy this wing fling, the new generation of transport.
That's affordable.
Not sure what else I can add. The software we used was iStop Motion 3. If you've seen previous versions of iStop Motion, 1 and 2 had a cheap version and a professional version. The professional version was hundreds of dollars. When they got to 3, they just collapsed down to 1. It's about $50 a machine. Really, really good quality software.
And you've got it on iPads as well.
I think you can.
Yeah.
We don't, but it's really good stuff. Celtex is, I cannot speak it up enough. If you're doing any script work, it does all the formatting automatically. It's really, really good software. You can go as far into it as you want in terms of playing. I can't do that. Thank you. I really want to do that. That's great.
Can I show mine?
I'm gonna go see some crabs on the beach. Hey, what's that? A bottle. Maybe it has something in it. A map. 5 steps forward, 2 steps left. No, that's not right. Ow, on my feet. I can't do it. More rocks. Maybe it's up the slope. Don't. It's not here. I'm back where I started. I found it. Ooh, a golden ticket. Now I